Hello. Let's get things all lined up. Well, that didn't quite work the way I wanted. I can turn that off for now. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today? My name is Bear. I'm barely watercoloring. If you're new here, hello. Anyone that's been here before, hello. I'm trying something new. I've done before, but I have not done in like a year. I'm trying multi-streaming again. So I'm normally only live on Twitch, but Twitch added the functionality to stream both horizontal and portrait at the same time. So I enabled that, and while I was at it, I thought, hey, let's try multi-streaming. So I am currently live on Instagram and on YouTube. YouTube's weird. YouTube is weird. YouTube, it technically does horizontal and vertical as well, but it has a problem in that it doesn't let you send what you want for portrait unless you exclusively only stream portrait mode, vertical for handheld phone mode, right? It automatically takes your landscape view and trims right in the middle and turns that into the portrait mode if you have it turned on at all. So I'm experimenting with it for now. We'll see how it goes. Someday maybe they'll allow you to do both manually. Until then, we'll just leave it be. But let me know how the stream goes, if it is slow or laggy or glitchy, or if it's working like normal for any of the regulars out there. Just let me know. But yeah, I think that's enough yak. The only other cool thing is if you are in vertical or portrait mode on anything, or right now I'll turn on the portrait cam on my main horizontal stream. I've got a second camera set up now, exclusively for portrait mode stuff. So I've got that all set up so I can be in both places at the same time and you'll have a slightly different perspective. Or I can turn it on when we want to do stuff in the vertical screen, like zooming in, which I can do here. Ta-da! Zoom, enhance, or zoom back out. And then if Comet's ever around my dog, then I can put it on like a doggo cam. We can turn it around and see him on the floor over here next to me. All right, but for now though, I will put that off and we can get crack-a-lackin'. All right, so what am I doing today? Today, I just make sure everything's on like it should be. Looks like it. Yeah, today we're gonna play more with the Spirograph. I recently got a Spirograph on Amazon. I had one when I was a kid. A lot of us did, but it was made out of plastic, and most of the ones today are made out of plastic too. But they sold a special diecast collector set, which I got for like 25, 26 bucks on Amazon. Looks like this. I will hold it up so you can see it. Everybody should be able to see that regardless of where you are, right? Looks kind of gold. It's not. It's like aluminum or tin or something. It's really light. All the gears are, but they're metal at least, so there is less likelihood of them easily snapping, but you can, I'm sure, if you try. And then it comes with two pens, which I have not used yet because I've got my own sets. It comes with a red and a blue. And then this white stuff down on the bottom down here, on the very bottom of it, is a putty, which I tried out, and it works really well. The old version I don't think came with one, or if it did, I don't remember it, or mine didn't have it. It's a putty to put down under the ring element to help it tack down to the paper so that you don't have to just hold it down with your hand. It'll keep things more steady, which it worked really well when I tried it. So we'll try it again today. But I'll put this up for now. We'll come back to it. Aside from that, the pens that I've got, I have some white gel pens from this Jelly Roll brand, and I got a 25 count set of various colors from the same brand because I know I can trust it. And it works really well. As you can see, I tried it on watercolor paper. It worked quite well. The only one I had issues with was on this black paper. It looks like construction paper, but it's technically a black watercolor paper from Stonehenge. But it's, how do I put this? I don't think it's cotton. I think it's probably 100% cellulose. So it lifts like crazy. You can probably see in the reflection. I'll try to get it where you can both see it. Yeah, there we go. Do you see that dark spot? next to that kind of greenish yellow little spirograph that I did. That's where some of the that tacky stuff I talked about that the spirograph comes with. It's like poster tack, like blue tack or whatever they call it. That's all it is. It's very gentle and it ripped the paper up. Wasn't even wet. I didn't even put water to it and it tore up this paper just lifting that up. So you can imagine how rough it is to paint on this. So I don't use it very often. But I wanted to try it because I figured it would show the colors of the spirograph on it really well. And it does. But if I can't paint on it too, then it's like only good for spirograph stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. That aside, I did a quick experiment on some white paper with no paint just to see how it would react. This is that one right there. So you can see that. I'll lift it up for the horizontal folks to see, and then I'll bring it to the other one right over here. So that came out quite well as well, as just a test. I'm going to save this so I can paint on it because it's good art, this paper. And this is what we did on Monday. Did like a very, sorry, I'm drinking coffee in your ear. It's what we do here. Drink coffee and jabber, aside from painting. But yeah, I really like how this one came out. It's kind of light in the background for the image. I wanted to do something kind of spacey, nebula-y, at least adjacent, but keep it light enough to see what we painted on top of it, or what we spirographed on top of it, I mean. And you can see it. It looks pretty cool. It looks almost mystical, like mystic arts kind of mystical, right? Which is kind of the beautiful capability of spirographs and how they work. So I thought that was a pretty cool example of what we can do with this stuff. But I want to try doing the kind of the reverse of this with a blend of this black paper. I want to do a abstract or space or something really dark on paper, get it dry. We'll have to get it dry because we'll have no time if we let it sit here. I have a heat gun over here you can't see. And we'll get it dry. And then we'll do the same kind of spirograph stuff we did on this black paper, but on just a really dark paint that's dried to see if it works the same way. I think it will, unless we're really, really heavy-handed. So how was I going to do that? I was thinking through a couple ways, and let me scoot this over here to get it out of the way. I had some thoughts. So we can probably use this to experiment on, and then we can get a good sheet of paper out. Let me move this out of the way for now. Oh, anyone who doesn't know, Arches is the best. Well, it's expensive, but I am not a pro by any means, but I have come to learn that good quality paper makes a huge difference. A lot of paper is made out of cellulose. Cellulose is what like a regular paper, like lined, ruled paper that you write on, inkjet paper. Like most of that is all cellulose paper, right? So it's just wood pulp, essentially, usually bleached wood pulp. And cellulose paper is great for a lot of things, writing on, sketching on, things like that, doing your homework. Painting on, not quite so much. The really cheap paper is made of 100% cellulose or maybe a small blend of cotton to help give it some strength, right? But it falls apart if you work on it too much. If you get it too wet, too long, it ripples and buckles, and when it dries, it stays that way. There's no getting out of it unless you do some magic to it. And if you try to do any sort of going back to it to re-wet an area or to lift something out of it, or especially to scrub, does not like that. It pills. It forms. It pulls some of the cellulose together into the spot in the middle of where you're working, and it forms little round pills, little round knits of paper because it's pulling the structure of the paper up with the water and the brush, right? And that's just ugly and doesn't work. Arches makes 100% cotton paper, which you can see right here in the corner, right? Cotton paper, all of the fibers intermesh into it, and it gives it better structure, right? Because it's made from cotton. So when you get it wet, it will still kind of rise and buckle and all of that, but you can control that sometimes depending on how you do it. One second. Sorry, I wanted to clear my throat and didn't want to blast your eardrums out. So you can do things to keep it flat. One thing I've tried that I've experimented with is wetting both sides of the paper and putting it on a smooth surface like this. Come here, you. This clipboard, right? It's a nice, smooth, wooden with a paint or something over it, and it works really well to hold down. That's actually what this residue is from me practicing that. So you wet it on one side, you flip it, you wet it with clear water on the other side, and then let it absorb just a little bit, and then you get to work. Upside stays flat the whole time you're working on it, the whole time it's wet. Downside, you can't really dry the top side of the paper fully to come back to do more work on it and keep it wet on the bottom. Like, I'm sure you can if you're magical or using really thick paper that you can dry the top and keep the bottom wet, but it makes it really difficult to work with. So to let it dry completely, you've got to cover it, like get the top mostly dry, and then put a book or something flat or another clipboard on top of it with some weight and let it dry pretty much overnight. And then you come back to the next day, it's still perfectly flat, but totally dry. And then you can take it out and you can either wet the back of it again and reapply it and then work on the top of it again, or just work on it free form, tape it down, whatever you normally do. But your first layer, the thickest layer, lightest layer, whatever you want to do with it, you can do that wet on both sides method. The other method I've never tried, because I don't have the stuff for it or really the desire, but we'll see, is pre-stretching. You can pre-stretch your paper by wetting it thoroughly in a sink or whatever, and you can put it on top of like a piece of cardboard or wood or something like that. And there's this special tape you can get that's activated by water. I think it's got some sort of gum, some sort of sticky glue type thing that's permanent. So you wet it and then you tack it down along the edges of your stretch out paper and you let it pre-stretched rather. Um, Not stretched, about to be stretched. There we go. You put it down on the edges of the paper and then you let it dry overnight or for a certain amount of hours. I don't know what, till it's totally dry, right? And then you paint on it right there, just like that, once it's totally dry. You keep it with that tape on it, you do all the work, you get it fully completed, and once you're ready, you have to actually cut it out. So you'll use an X-Acto blade or something and cut along all of the edges to cut it out because there's no pulling that tape up. It's bonded to the paper at that point. But it keeps it totally flat the whole time you're working on it. So I think people tend to do that, not necessarily with some pre-cut paper from a pad, because you kind of want it pre-cut to fit a shape, right? Like a frame or something. But you can get big rolls or just large sheets of paper and then cut out larger than you need for your painting. And then tape it down that way to keep it flat. And then when you're done, you cut it to the size you're going to frame or display or ship or whatever you're going to do with it, right? Too much talking. Let's move on. Let me get this over here. And I say let's do an experiment. I put this up. Why did I put this up? I need it. Let's... Don't knock that over. There we go. I'll go ahead and I'll tape this down. Hey, thank you for following. Who do we get? Thank you for following. Ooh. Capra Sings? Yeah, I think we're going to go with Capra Sings. Welcome on in. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and tape this sample. This is going to be a sample, unless we like it. We might like it. Who knows? We're going to go and tape this down, and then we're going to hit it with some water to get it pre-wet, and then we're going to start going on heavy with the paint. But what paint? It's another question. So let me grab my tape first, and I'll explain. So, ooh, there's not much left in this roll. I have a brand new roll of tape that I've not opened yet, a new kind as well, but I'm almost out of my blue painter's tape in the 1-inch size, so it won't take much and I'll be totally out. Let me go ahead and tape this down. Whoa. See, when I get down to the end of the roll, it curls up like this. I hate that because it gets stuck to itself. Good news, you can unfurl it. It's not like duct tape where once it touches the glue on itself, it's there forever. All right. Okay. Let's get a really big piece. Okay, doing good so far. So for paint, so I was thinking because I want it to be dark or rich, how you want to call it, I either have to keep going back to my palette and mix like a really set of dark colors, or let me align this up and then put it down and I'll show you. I can use something that I've used before, but I usually use on mineral paper. Watercolor ink. Watercolor or acrylic ink. So I've got these. I'll show over here too. I have a couple jars, like a dozen or more, different colors of watercolor and a couple acrylic inks. And they're really rich, they're really strong, potent, right? And they do stuff like, hold please. Uh, uh, come here. You come here too. There we go. Like these guys. Watercolor ink is very rich. You can do some really cool stuff with it. I've actually only used it on mineral paper so far, but you can paint with it too. But you have to dilute it or just know it's going to be really thick when you put it on, right? And people like to use it to do blooms. This is probably a good example of that. Uh, this is mineral paper. That's why you see it's very floppy and floopy. It's made with calcium carbonate, but which is stone, but it feels effectively like plastic, right? Uh, it lets you put down like a couple of rows of ink, for example, which is what I do here. I do a row along the horizon, the middle line, above and below. I use a large flat brush and I'll brush just clean water along like here and not touch the ink yet. I'm up just above it when I do it. And I'll go maybe halfway up. I'll do the same thing below. It'll be totally flat. And then I'll go back for clean water and then I'll connect the ink to the water pool and it'll bloom upward into it, right? Same thing down below. And then up above where you've not had it connect yet because there's no water, you go up, clean your brush, blot it, grab some clean water, and then at the edge of the water that's already there with some of the ink in it, but on most of the dry part, you grab and you pull, and it suctions, surface tension, something. It suctions some of the already inked water pool upward into the blank space. And the same thing down below. If you have too much water, you can use these things. They're little pipettes. They're just little plastic tubes that are squeezable on top, and you can make sure it's clean and dry. You squeeze all the air out as much as you can, and you find puddles. If any puddles form, you'll kind of want to get rid of them because they'll leave weird rings that don't really look appealing. So if you put it right down, tip right to a puddle, and then suction some up, and be patient with it, it'll fill the little bulb in part of the stem, and then you squeeze it out into like a waste container. And once it's mostly done, just blot it a couple times so you don't drip anything. Squeeze all the air out and rinse and repeat until you've got most of the big puddles lifted. And then from there, you just let it dry. Don't mess with it, let it dry. And the important thing is, don't try to make it dry. I've tried that, it fails catastrophically. This paper material, uh, even though it's mineral, it's like plastic in a way, and it will curl and buckle permanently, like warp badly if you try to dry it with a hair dryer or a heat gun. So you have to let it dry overnight. It's ridiculous, I know. So it's like a set it and forget it kind of deal. Like do it at the end of your night and then come back in the morning and you'll be like, oh wow, it's so cool. I've got a lot of these made. All right, I told you I jibber jabber. You're gonna have to just learn to live with it. It's just who I am. All right, let me. And it's only who I am here. Everywhere else, I don't really jibber jabber a lot. I don't know. I don't know why. All right, let's continue taping. The reason I was saying all that is to show you could see how rich or how dark the colors were, right? So one of my thoughts that I was thinking of, instead of using my palette over here, I might use the watercolor inks instead directly on wet. Because I think it'll do a similar thing like the mineral paper does and it'll bloom, but it'll fill up the page really nicely with a bunch of really nice rich dark colors, which we can then dry. Because this is good 100% cotton paper, we'll be able to actually control drying it. It might take a minute, but we could do it. And then we can hit it with the Spirograph and see how it looks. Goddess Whispers, hey, welcome in. How you doing today, Goddess? Had to pull out the old laptop to watch since it won't work on my TV anymore. I know, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do about that. I mean, for now, I think we'll just have to live. I did turn on vertical streaming. That is now working. So if you watch from your phone, it will let you do both horizontal and vertical streaming. If you look on my main screen right now, you see I've got a vertical camera set up now. So that right now is going out to people that are looking at Twitch vertical mode, and it's also currently going out to my Instagram. However, it does not go properly to YouTube. I said that earlier when I got started. YouTube is currently horizontal, but it's automatically making a portrait mode version, and all it does is slice right here, right in the middle, on its own. It does not let you send the vertical canvas that you've got in your streaming software. You can do one or the other. I could do horizontal and choose to use the automatic portrait or not use it at all. Or I can forcibly stream portrait, but I won't be able to get horizontal. I like the horizontal look more because I've got more world to work with on my desk, right? So until they fix that, that's just how it's going to be, or I'll just turn off vertical streaming there. But I figured to get the most potential people looking at it, oh, hey, look, it's some weirdo out there painting in vertical, and I can flip through it on my phone. It's there, right? It's not beautiful, it's not high resolution because it forced it to take from my main camera and just split it down the middle. But hey, it's what it is. Have I yammered enough? Almost. Before we get started on this, actually, no, I'll wet it first and then I'll do the next bit. I'm getting dry, so I'm gonna have some coffee. Let's go ahead and wet this down. Let me make sure I've got it pressed down really well. Tape is great, but the one failing that it has for me is corners or overlaps in places where the tape overlaps. The water likes to get underneath it, especially if you're heavy-handed with the water. Ugh. So I try to press or tamp it down really strongly as much as I can. It's better for these, bordered four pieces of tape things. It's when I try to use tape and I overlap and I try to do abstract stuff with it that all bets are off. If I don't press it down really, really hard, it likes to leak the paint underneath the tape and it looks ugly. I can partially fix those by hitting it with like white acrylic afterward once it's dry, but we'll see. I appreciate the vertical mode because when I have to watch on my phone, it's so small. Vertical mode is so much easier to see. Excellent. Yeah, try it if you want to, because I actually don't really know how it looks other than from my sample. But yeah, if it works on vertical really nicely, it's really cool. I've got some cool things I can do as well. I'll show it on the main screen in case you're still on that. I've got a couple different modes. I have a zoom, so I can zoom in when I am doing this, and hopefully it will focus. There we go. Uh, and I also have I can't really show it easily right now, but I have I'll hit it anyway. I've got a doggo mode, so I can have it switch out, and if Comet is here, it can switch out and see him instead I'm here, and you can see my bald head. Sorry, gross, I know. So I'll put it back for now. Yeah. So if Comet's ever over here and hanging out and saying hello, I can scoot to the left a little bit and get out of the way, and we can say hey to Comet. Because the last thing I need is a third camera on the floor where he may or may not ever go in a spot, So I'll just, when he's here. All right, let's get some water on here. I'm just gonna put a couple like big like drops of it. And then I'm gonna go back and start brushing it on. I'll go left to right first. Okay, and I'll go up and down to help even it out. All right, and while this sits there and thinks about what it did, I'm gonna turn the light in front of me on. It might be weird and bright, we'll see, just so I can see how wet this is. Yeah, it's pretty even. That's good. Let me get some of the inks out. And give me 1 second. All right, my other half was letting me know that this vertical camera that I've got up here is sometimes auto-focusing on the wrong thing, so it's getting blurry. So I think once we get more stuff here, it will focus, but I could probably go in and set the manual focus so it won't be such a problem. For now, I'll probably hit this with more water in a minute once this soaks in a little, but let's get some colors out. For dark stuff, let's hit dark colors. I've got, uh, this is indigo. We'll keep the indigo out. That's always a good option. We've got, this is a dark brown, burnt umber. Um, Leaf green is a little too light, but maybe. Oh, I've got phthalo blue, I think. No, ultramarine blue dark. My bad. This is my phthalo blue. Yellow. Maybe we can have some just for some streaks, but we're not doing mineral paper stuff. We're doing a dark background on purpose. There's a good new dark green that I got. There's a magenta. There's a red acrylic. I have an actual ivory black. And I got silver and white and then like flame red. So really not any of those. I don't think I'll do any of the light colors. Maybe I will just so that we've got some interest. I don't know. But we need to pick some colors. So I think I'll definitely go with a dark blue. I'll do the phthalo because phthalo blue is always gorgeous, right? Let's do the minute green as well. That's not it. That's the black. Green, there you are. And then maybe we'll have the light blue, so like a cerulean hue. And then with the green, maybe we'll do the leaf green. So we've got 2 shades of green, 2 shades of blue. And maybe we'll just go with that for now. Yeah, I think we might just go with that. I'll keep the yellow out just in case I want to hit it with something bright, but I think I'll put the rest up. I'll keep the indigo out just in case, and I'll put the rest up. Yep, that works for me. Because if I start doing too many colors, I'm just gonna make brown, right? Which can be pretty too, but I haven't looked at YouTube at all yet. Let me see. If I hit this, okay, and YouTube is 0. I expected it would. My YouTube channel, I really just put my VODs from Twitch on, so I don't expect there to be anyone there. As for Instagram, I got a couple of people there join. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. If you're still there, hello. Hi, guys. I'll say hello to you here. Hi. Hi, Instagram. Okay. Back to Twitch. All right. So, this is starting to dry a little bit. So to make sure that doesn't happen when I need it, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with just a little bit more water. So once again, I'll do left to right. This time I'll just grab water instead of splashing it on here because I don't want to overdo it. And same thing, up and down. Then hopefully this will allow it to focus when we start putting some stuff down on here. For now, it might be a little blurry for the Instagrammers and vertical viewers out there. My 4K camera is good. It seems to be really good at autofocus, but the one that I'm using for this view is not quite so much. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, so we're gonna do... Oh god, I always forget these are a bitch to open. Okay, come on. Come now. Ah, there we go. All right, let me pre-open these like I should have done earlier before I put water down. Okay, I used it recently, so it's not all that bad. Oh, I forgot I need to shake that one. Okay, I think that'll be fine. The yellow's here in case I need it. Okay, that one's cracked. Let's get the green shaken and opened. This one's new, so it shouldn't be so bad. He says, as he can't get it open. Got it. Okay. All right, and let's get the leaf green one ready. God, I'm probably going to hit it with more water. Goodness gracious. All right. Let's get this blue. Oh, this one's rough. That's the downside with these is in order to close them tight enough to not leak accidentally, like if you tilt it over, you gotta go crazy sicko mode with tightening it down a little bit. And even just like hand tight can be too much. It's crazy. All right. Okay, I think we're okay. It's not gonna necessarily like bleed outward like you're or bloom like you're used to seeing some people because they truly leave puddles on the water and they conveniently don't show what happens after that. Couldn't begin to tell you why. All right, so let's put some down, and it does bleed a little bit, so I'll do like a little swirl here, right? And you can see it's starting to bleed outward a little bit, right? I'm gonna partially close that. And then let's get a dark green going. Push in, pull out, and then same dealio. We'll go across this way with it. Ding. Ah, it's a coworker. Just they missed a message I sent earlier, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry I didn't answer." Which is fine. Don't worry about it, bud. It's starting to get a little dry down here, so I'm gonna spray it. There we go. That'll help it spread out a little bit more too. It's just a little spray bottle with water in it. Super useful to have handy. All right, let's try the light green. And we'll just go, I don't know, we'll go like along it over here. And I'll just blot that to make sure I don't get anything on it. Okay. And I did this one, I did this one. I did not do the light blue yet. Let's grab some of that. And we'll go like around the middle. And maybe we'll grab a little more and we'll do some like across here. Okay. Okay, I've done a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Let's hit some. There's not going to be much in here. I'm almost out, if not completely out of this. Yeah, it's getting there. Okay. Let me do a couple of drops on top in random places. That's nice. I actually haven't done this on top of regular paper. I kind of like where it's going. All right. And here's some yellow. I think it's cadmium yellow. Yeah, cadmium yellow hue. So, right. All right. And once again, just to make sure it's hydrated, I'll grab just a little bit of spray, just to make sure everything hits and spreads like it should. All right. And let me go ahead and I'm going to tighten these up because I don't need any more color on here. I'm going to put them up. You can go. Thank you for your service. You. Thank you. You. Closed. Thank you. You are also closed. Oh, you were not closed. I'm glad I checked. Always check that your jars and lids and everything are closed, people. Because the one day you don't do it is the one day you tip over the thing and that makes a mess. Right. Okay. Oh, I don't need the tape anymore. Put this back up over here. All right, so we've got a bit of stuff going everywhere, but it's not really going anywhere, right? So let me go ahead and grab, I never use my mop brush. Let's go ahead and grab my mop brush. And everything's really wet, so I actually think I'm not going to wet my brush, which feels like a sin, but it's got a good shape right now. It's going to change when it gets wet. I'm just going to kind of zhuzh things, not a lot, but just enough to make it not be just like lines that I did, right? And it lets me kind of hit some of the puddles. So I'm just gonna, all right, okay. Let's blot. this guy and rinse it. Oh yeah, because it's ink, it just darkens the rinse water like immediately. You can see it's just completely, completely just filled. Try to rinse this nice and thoroughly. Well, still had some minute. Let me use my clean water and I'll do a final rinse on this. Okay, that's better. I'll probably do a proper full clean on that later just to make sure I got everything out. Let's go ahead and, oh, be smart about it. I get some spare paper towel out. All the small things. I can hear this song. I don't know if you can hear the music. I've got it down on like the lowest volume besides 0. All right, I'm going to make sure I've got everything ready. I've got water in case I need water. I've got paper towel in case I need paper towel. I am going to do a little tilting. Probably enough. Let me go ahead and try to sop up some of the mess. And from the table before I put this pad back down on it. All right, and before it changes too much, I'm going to go ahead and get this dry. Let me go ahead and grab my heat gun. You're going to probably hear all this or not. I don't know how well it's going to filter out. We'll see. Oof, we're getting there. Definitely got some more time to go to dry it off. I'm just gonna let it settle for a second. And I'll go ahead and pick up a little bit of the excess liquid so I don't have to worry about trying to dry it quite so much. I'll have to clean it off the board, but I'll do that later. Hey, that's still doing its thing. I'm gonna have some coffee really quick while we think about what it did. Respond to my message really quick. Thing from work. I am on call, so I have to just double check, make sure nobody's done anything during the day. Everything's fine. I think everything seems fine. Right, let me just get that up. All right, and I did zoom in earlier, so uh, portrait viewers can see a little bit more than just what's at the distance. But we're getting there. The surface is mostly dry. There's no more puddles, but the paper, because we wet it so many times, it's like soaked through, so I need to do another pass. You can definitely tell when you look at it from the side. I doubt I'll be able to show any of this, but I'll tilt it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but it is like buckling still a little bit from the wetness. So once I dry it more, it'll lay totally flat, nearly totally flat. Let's go ahead and hit it some more. All right. I think we're at a point at the very least that we can peel the tape and take a look at the back. And if it's wet on the back side, put it on something clean face down, and then I can dry the back of the paper too. That might make it buckle though. So normally at this point, I would let it dry some more, but I think it'll be okay. Because really our end goal is to spirograph on top of this. I think we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and try a peel. What was the last side I did? Was it the left one? It was the left one. All right. Let's see. It's possibly going to have bled underneath. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and try to peel the edge of this. Remember, this is not meant to be a masterpiece. This is just us putting color down so we can experiment with the Spirograph with it. Okay, good there. Two for two. See how the next one goes. Wow, doing good so far. That's still wet right there. Let me put the tape in here. Let go of my hand, tape. Did I get any? Yeah, I got some on me. Okay, I'll have to clean my hands here in a minute. All right, not bad. Things always look better when you peel the tape off. All right, let's try to get under it. Yeah, maybe a little wet. That's again going to be really hard to see. Oh, you can kind of see on my main camera. And then on this one, maybe a little bit where there's a little bit of rippling still where it's wet, right? So I think we can carefully lay this down and hit it on the back, but it is going to curl, but we'll try to be quick about it. All right. Get this cord back there so it's out of my way. Go, you. Get down. Oops. Oh. I almost bumped my coffee right off the desk. That would have been a mess. Let's put that over there so it's a little tiny bit safer. All right. I'm going to scoot this out of the way, keep it safe. Let's grab a paper towel, maybe two. Right. And I will start with just some water and clean this. No, I will need to go clean my hands. Ooh, that was a squeak. Not going for absolute perfection on cleaning. I just want to get up all the really big, obvious, messy bits, so I don't re-wet something and then get it on something else like me or paper. All right, should be good. Right, and let me put this up. There. Away with you. Think the surface is pretty well off, except for a little bit in the front right here. I did definitely drop some. Right next. Yeah, I definitely need to wash my hands. Yeah, yeah, it's hard to tell. It's not a lot, but it's just enough. Let me go take care of that really quick. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. You can see the new "be right back" thing I did. All right, I'm back. Let me turn that back down. The only people hearing music anyway is going to be on Twitch because I can exclude the track. But everywhere else, when you exclude it, it does not go to the stream. So you'll just be hearing nothingness in the spots. Sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the Spirograph. Get this out of the way. And there's like a little lid, protecting lid thing on here. There we go. And the pens. Got the pens right there. I don't need the water anymore. Let's put it. I technically don't need my ink over here, or my pigment. Let me go ahead and cover it up. That palette came with a handy plastic cover. The palette is ceramic, so it's really heavy. Doesn't move very easily. And it comes with a built-in cover, which can double as a mixing well. On the inside, you can see the squares for it. Okay, so I also don't need this, so I'm just gonna move the paper towel over there so we've got a little bit more room. Oh, there's some water there. Right? Stay. Okay, so we've got our piece of paper. It's not totally flat, but it'll be flat just by pressing down and doing stuff on it. Let me make sure it's where everybody can see it. Great. Let's take a look at what we're gonna do. But first, drink if you got it. Let's have some coffee. Oh, oh, coffee. I love you. Okay. Let's double check everywhere else. Everyone's doing good. Rock and roll. Hey, everybody. All right. Let's head into figuring out what we're going to do. So we can get the ring out. You know, if I can get my thumb in there to be able to pull. Bro, seriously? Seriously. I can press on it and then pick it up. Sure, that'll work. Okay. And let's get the tacky strip out. All right. Got that ready. Yeah, when you peel it, it's like it's literally like that poster tacky stuff. Like you can see where it does that little stretchy thing, right? I'll bring it over here so you guys can see it somewhere. There we go. See, it does that little stretch thing when you peel a piece off of this. So it's just like that poster tacky stuff that they used in schools and whatnot to stick posters up on the board. But I'll put that over here for now, just to keep it safe. We can go ahead and pick a spot. Interestingly, you can see the one that was already on this, because this was a scratch piece that I did one Spirograph thing on the other day. You can see it through the paint. I'll hold it up for the main camera. And I'll hold it up for you guys so you can see it right there. Yeah, see? You can see it through it. So you can do like kind of like an underpainting, but it's an under Spirograph first if you want to, and some of it will shine through, some won't in the thicker, darker areas of paint. And then we're going to put some on top. So we'll see how both look. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll put one up here first, right? So let's go ahead and get this tacky stuff. Turn it, separate it into two pieces. And I'm going to put some down right in the middle of one side of the ring and some down in the middle of the other side. You could use more, but I don't want to overdo it. And I'm going to just go ahead and pick a spot right here, for example. And I'm going to press it down firmly, right? And then we'll pick a gear. I suppose I can pick one right in the middle. Just set it down. Let's pick some pens. I've got a lot of colors in here. Last time I poured them all out, which I'll probably just do again. Out. Lay them all out here so you can see them all. Make a totally informed decision, right? Move this up so y'all can see it. Okay. And for anyone interested, this is the kit right here so you can see it. It is made by Jelly Roll. That's jelly with a G. And it's their Moonlight 06 set of 25 pens. I'll hold it up for both cameras. Here's the vertical camera, and then for my main camera. Yep. Okay, I'll put it over here for now. It's where everybody can see it. Let me get the Spirograph set over here where it can do no harm. And then, yeah, let's pick some colors. So we've got, move this heat gun further out of the way. All right, we have a lot of colors. So I think we could probably start light to begin with, just to be on the safe side. Move my copy so I don't accidentally run into it like earlier. We can probably do a nice yellow, maybe a green, like a light green color, and maybe a light blue, since we've got blue in there. We can do all of those. So let's start with our yellow. And the gear is up against it. I'm going to hold the paper and the gear down flat. The ring. The gear is in the middle. I'm just going to pick something not right in the middle of it, but just off. So we can do like a cool ring effect. So let's go ahead and start. More than I needed, but I'm doing the extra rounds just to really fill it in. I could probably do half that. It wouldn't be so bad. In fact, let's do that. But let's do it on the outside with a different color. Maybe do blue. This is a little harder to do because I have to move my hand out of the way, but we'll do similar space and I'll ooh, the outside ring is really hard to do. We're not able to do much of that. Ooh, hurry. One more. I think that looks pretty cool. And let's choose a different gear and a different color. So we've got our green. Let's do maybe a smaller one. But let's do from the outer edge of it. So it's going to go all over the place, right? Okay. And then maybe we do in the middle. No, not the complete middle. Okay. Did some neat stuff. Let's see. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Hope that it doesn't pull up any of the paint because I've not done this yet. Ooh, it did. I think. Or is that some of the tacky stuff? It might be some of the tacky stuff stuck to it because of the texture, you know? Let's see if we can get the other one up a little cleaner. Kinda. You know what it reminds me of? It's coming up kind of like bubblegum, so... Okay, so I can do that little trick where you hit it a couple times, and the tackiness of what you're holding pulls it up. So it's a little dirty, but it cleans up, and it's not taking the paint up with it. It's staying the color that it it started as. So good to know. Interesting. All right. Okay. Let's hold it up and you guys can see it a little closer. Sorry, that was still in my hand. That's what it's looking like so far. The main camera as well. See, so that's looking pretty cool. Let's do some overlap. Let's do... Oh, it looks like it did bring up some of the paint. Either it wasn't totally dry or it just picks up some of it. I'll hold it up to the main camera. There's just a little tiny bit of green. You can see it over here too, as soon as I find you guys. There's just a little tiny bit. Yeah, it's probably not going to focus on it. There's just a little bit of green on the edge of the tacky bit. All right, I'm going to overlap it maybe over here. Oops. Oh no, our tack came off completely. Let's reapply it firmly on here. All right. Let's do here. So we get a decent overlap. Okay, and am I in view? I am. Ooh, that's so cool, right? I'm telling you, Spirograph are awesome. All right, so we've used those. Let's try not to reuse them again. We can, because it's pretty pale. Let's try some different colors. I don't even think it has to meet the colors of the thing that we did. But let's just try, I mean, orange, this little neon color. Maybe a pale, like fleshy color, so we can keep them all in the same shade. And if we did a fourth one, we could do like this magenta-y, purple-y kind of thing. Okay, so maybe we start with really big gear. Big, 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 big. Really big. Super big. Okay, so we'll start with this one. These don't have names on the colors or numbers or anything, so it's just a size 6 or O6. Let's go ahead and I'll pick about most of the way out, but not all the way out. Because I need to be able to still move it. The downside with the really big is I don't know when it's done because it's covering it. And if I lift it, I end up not being able to see it. So all I can do is hope. I think that's it. It did it. It's just very faint, and it's not for any bad reason. It's because the color of the pen. So let me switch to a brighter color, and maybe we'll use the next size down. Okay, and we'll use this kind of orangey color. And maybe we'll do more in the middle so I can go around a couple times. Nice, we got ourselves kind of like the other one. It's just a nice range. Words, they fail me sometimes. Okay, maybe we go with maybe this one here in a minute, but we'll do this one next. We can do one on the outside. I think we can safely do one in the middle on the outside. Let's do the purpley one. Excuse me. Okay. And again, outside is really difficult, so I'm going to try to pick one closer to the middle so I don't lose track. Yeah, this one's going to be really hard. Yeah, it even went off the edge of the paper. Well, it went off the edge of the boundary. And then let's do our pink and do the smaller ring. And this one we can be a little bit more dangerous. This one we can do near the edge. So let's do the very last one. That one finished. That one's pretty neat. Maybe we can throw another color in there and just go really hog wild. Maybe we need to do alternating colors on these so they show up more. So let's do, oh, there's a bright, almost neon green yellow color. Let's do that one. And we can do on the edge as well. Starting to slip. Ooh. Harder than I thought. Ah, ah. All right. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Nope, that's it. That finished it. Okay. We should probably do one around the outside too. We'll do the small wheel there, or we'll pick one that we haven't done from this. Maybe this guy. And let's go orange. Sure, why not? Oh no, I forgot there's some light blues over here. We can do one of those. Or a little lilac. Yeah, sure, we'll do that one. It's not really lilac. That's more purple. Okay, this is really hard, but I'm gonna try. Oh, yeah, that's impossible. Oh, yeah, that's impossible to be able to maintain. Try, but that's really, really difficult. You have to push. It's counterintuitive, right? Because you're going all over the place in the ring, like from the out to the middle to the out to the middle, and then you're on the outside ring here. So it's really hard to maintain. Okay, I think that's probably gonna be the most I can do with that one, but it made a nice little like clover look to it. All right, so that one's got more than enough done on it. Let's peel this one off and see what the damage is. I have to peel our tack off as well, remember? Get this one up. Yeah, it's kind of like when you peel. Oh, that's what it's like. You know when you peel a sticker off of a new purchase and it leaves all that nasty glue residue behind that everybody hates, right? It's like that. It doesn't all come off, but you can reapply the stuff to itself, and it seems to be the best way to get the glue and all that stuff off, right? Is when you reapply the same sticker to it over and over again. It's the same thing with it. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then let's do one down here, right? So let's pinch this apart, and I'll apply some here into this section, and then one here. All right, and let's start with the little guy. And let's pick a really light color. Maybe this like little mustardy one, like that green one we've not used yet. We can use this like neon orange one, and then let's call it there for that group. Okay, we've not used any of those yet, really. Okay, so I'm going to start with the gray one. See how that goes. Because I'm on the inside and it's a small wheel, I can use the outermost, and it'll probably give me the most potential for her design. Oh, wow, I really messed that up. Wow, how did I do that? Let's try to see if I can recover it from a known good point. We went there, and then we went there, and then we went there. So let's try from right there. Wow, that was harder than I thought. Trying to maintain staying on the boundary. Okay, good. It overlapped. Trying to stay directly in the hole furthest away from the center point when going around either side of these is so hard because you're going around it and you're like zigzagging while you're making a circle, right? So it's really, really hard. Good grief. Okay, let's take a look at another color. We'll go for the next wheel up. Um, let's do the orange one because why not? And I'm going to stay in the middle because I'm doing on the outside this time. So I'm going to do the middle one. Crazy. Let's go two up from that. This one just made like a single shape and it just stopped. It didn't shift into a new design. It could be the entire gear that's just what this one does. Yeah, yeah, same thing. Okay, well I'll go. I did that one, that one. Let's do this last. Let's do five up from the center point. All right, second gear done. Let's move on to a different color. Let's do this kind of teal color. And we'll go up to, let's go to the biggest wheel that I've got out right now. And let's go about halfway up. So we can go hopefully deep into the middle. To hold on to this than I remember. Also a kid back then and had greater dexterity. So that doesn't always stay with you. Okay, that took care of that. And then maybe we go around the outside again. No, I think we call that one done. At least with that. Maybe what we do is we grab the biggest wheel again and try to do something that touches on the middle point. So maybe we go literally for the middle and see what it does, if anything. It might do almost nothing. Did a cute little design right in the middle. Great. Okay. Perfect. Let's go ahead and peel that off. And this time, I think I'll put it down over here in the corner on the bottom right. But I'm not. Oh, the bottom one peeled off nicely. Oh, that one did too. Maybe it's just because it's smoother down there. I don't know. Let's put one down here, and we're not going to do an outer ring. We're only going to do the inner one. Okay. Is that salt? Oh, that's an actual spot that I didn't do something. Actually, let's do it like this so that it overlaps right here, right? Oh, I put it on upside down. Oh, that's okay. Who cares? All right. And let's pick some new colors. Oh, I see a cap that popped off. Let's put that back on. How are we doing for time? Hour 25, not bad. All right, so let's get some lighter colors. I got that guy, got that guy. I got this guy right here, maybe. And a little blue. Probably won't use all of them. We can look. All right, so let's do the big one in the middle again because it's always scary and hard to manage. And let's do pretty far out. Okay, so that one did just a very basic design. Let's keep the same one, same pen, and I'll do one of the ones in the middle as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And let's do a little small guy and pick a different color. Do the blue guy. No, let's go crazy. Do the little orangey. I don't know what that color is. I don't even know what to equate that to. Like a dull red color. All right, and let's do. And then let's do a couple. And maybe we do. No, that seems like a lot. Let's stop there. Pick up and move to one final spot, and we'll call it. Very good. I think we're pretty well done, but we can squeeze something else in here. Maybe we can go right here and let everything really overlap right there in that one final spot. And we'll just use like these two right here. Okay. Let's pick on you. Okay, and we'll go out here. That's already overlapping. So with that one. Do the small guy. Uh, I think we'll stop there. Only a few that I didn't use. Put the gears up, and then we'll take a look at what we've done. Right. I think next time I do this too, I'll do more of the under, like the on plain white paper spirographs, and then we can take a look at painting over it. Maybe do like a combination of light and dark painting, and then we can focus. That's the right side. we can focus on seeing what it looks like when we try all the different sizes or different colors. I mean, that one, that one. God, it's like a puzzle trying to figure out what order to put them back. There we are. There we go. And then you go to have everything back in it. I do. You. Bloop. And you. You. Right. We'll put everything else up in a minute. But hey, let's take a look at what we ended up with. I'll put it on the portrait so you guys can see that there. And I'll get a little close so you can see some of the Spirograph designs. Right? Spirograph, man, let me tell you, it's so cool. Let me show the people on the main camera too, so you can enjoy that. I'll turn it sideways and you can see the whole thing. Right? Super cool. I want one now, a Spirograph. See, it was like 25, 26 bucks for this one, but you can get them cheaper and you can get the plastic ones, you know, so you get a smaller set that's plastic, and it should be a good bit cheaper. They're so fun. Especially if you do it on plain paper too, you know, doing it on watercolor is neat, but it's harder to see, but it still adds some visual to it, right? You know, it's funny, the one thing I didn't do is just use plain white, like I use for my stars when I do it, right? But I can do that later. I already closed it all up. But I can include the white ones in there when I do this. Yeah, that's super cool. I like that. Spirograph, man, how cool is that? Designs I'd never be able to make by hand. I mean, who could? Never mind, I don't want to know. I'm sure there's people out there daring and stupid enough to want to do all that by hand manually, but come on now. That's what these tools are made for. But yeah, they came out really cool. I'd like to try to do find out which ones do the right shapes for doing some like astrological like magic, you know, kind of looking things. Kind of like how you see the designs for like Doctor Strange when he's holding his hands up and doing the, I don't know how they did it on Marvel to make it look like that. But doing those on like a mystical colored background would look really cool, I think. So once again, I'll probably go back to like very pale paints and then the brighter colors on top of it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Probably not next time because I done 2 this week of nothing but Spirograph because I had it and I'll have to return to regularly scheduled programming next time. But yeah, no, I like it. That's good. I think we'll call that then. So I'll go ahead and I think I'm going to end here for now. It gives me time to go through the weekend and figure out what the hell I'm going to do on Monday because I haven't planned anything yet. So yeah, I will prepare to head out then. So let me go ahead and get you guys, please, if you would like, if you're on Instagram, great, you're already where I put all my art. Every time I do something, unless it's really, really terrible or I just forget about it, I post it on Instagram. The VODs for what I do here are all on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching there, you're already in the right place. So all the VODs from here, I upload to YouTube. All the images that I take of these, I post on Instagram so you can look at them more close up and like zoom in a little bit if you want to. And then here, so come here if you want to see it live. Wherever you are right now, I'll probably just stream in those places from now on. But yeah, I think that's it. Feel free to check out again my Instagram and scroll down a bit and look at all the stuff I've done in the past. It's kind of fun. And what I'll do in the future, who the hell knows? I'll figure something out. I mostly do space and nebula. I like Star Trek, and I sometimes do Star Trek, but I try not to do a whole lot of like branded content because I can't do anything with it once I've streamed it. I'm not legally like technically allowed to make money from it, but people do it all the time. I just don't want to be the one that does it all the time and is the one that gets caught. So I'm just not going to do it. Mostly. Sometimes. Depends. That said, my name is Bear. I've been barely watercoloring, and it was great seeing y'all. Have a great night. I will be back Monday next week, barring catastrophe. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see y'all later. Goodbye. Bye, Goddess. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, and actually, check out Goddess too. If you're on Twitch, check out Goddess Whispers. She typically switches it up between making and gaming. She does a lot of crochet work. That's why I call her the Yarnomancer. Love her to pieces. Check out whatever she's streaming. It's going to be great. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Goodbye. 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 I'll see you later. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. All right. Bye.